Well, I don't know if I can follow that. So how's that for being equipped? We have to equip ourselves to engage. Far too many of us know that abortion is wrong. We are right to believe so. But so many of us stumble so hard when we are asked to give a defense for our pro-life position. And if anyone should be able to give a clear, concise, gracious, and persuasive defense for the sanctity of human life, it should certainly be us as Christians. So what can we do to equip ourselves to engage? What can you do to equip yourself to engage and therefore empower the next generation? I believe there's three things that you can do. One, we need to clarify the nature of moral reasoning. Two, we need to clarify the one and only question that matters in the abortion debate. And thirdly, we need to clarify the case for life. So firstly, we need to clarify the nature of moral reasoning. What do I mean by that? Pro-lifers aren't claiming that abortion is wrong because they don't like abortion. Pro-lifers aren't claiming that abortion is wrong because they have personal qualms against abortion. Pro-lifers are making the claim that abortion is an unjustifiable act of violence that takes the life of a defenseless unborn human person because abortion violates rational moral principles. We are making an objective moral statement. Now, if I say that vanilla ice cream is better than chocolate ice cream, and I hope I didn't just start a war, and if I say that it's wrong to torture toddlers for fun, I have made two different types of statements. And everyone in this room recognizes the difference with those statements, don't you? The first one is a preference claim. I prefer vanilla ice cream. If you prefer chocolate ice cream, you're wrong. No, because that's a preference claim, isn't it? But when I say it's wrong to torture toddlers for fun, no one in this room would say, well, Seth, maybe it's wrong for you. Or maybe you prefer not to torture toddlers for fun, but I do. Or maybe someone I know does. No, we recognize that that's an objective moral statement about the nature of reality. It's saying, hey, this thing is wrong regardless of how you feel about it. Now, who of us has seen the bumper sticker, don't like abortion, don't have one? That argument turns the abortion issue into a subjective preference issue. So when we as pro-lifers say, we oppose abortion, or abortion is wrong, abortion advocates often hear, we don't like abortion. But that's not the type of claim we're making. And so we have to clarify the nature of moral reasoning and clarify what kind of statement we're making when we say abortion is wrong. What if instead of don't like abortion, don't have one, what if instead we said don't like spousal abuse, don't beat your wife? But we recognize that spousal abuse is wrong regardless of whether you like it or not. And so we need to clarify the type of statements that we're making, because the abortion advocates think that we just have personal qualms against abortion and we don't like it, but we are making objective moral statements about the nature of reality. Now, many people continue to think that abortion is merely a preference issue. Why? I would like to suggest that one of the reasons is that many of those people who think that way have never seen what abortion is and does to unborn children. And you heard my testimony in the video that it was because I saw abortion imagery that I chose to dedicate my life to this cause. So I want to show you a brief 1-minute video clip tonight that shows what abortion is and does to unborn children. I want to warn you before we play it. I don't want to spring it on you. I want to let you know that it is graphic, that it does show fetal tissue after a first, second, and a brief third trimester abortion. And I don't show this tonight to shame anyone here who may have had an abortion before, or anyone who may have had an experience with abortion before, or know someone who's had an abortion. There is healing and forgiveness in Jesus Christ.
Amen. And
God is just as eager to forgive the sin of abortion as he is any other sin. And you need to know that. But I want to show it to you to make you aware of it as a tool to educate people about what abortion is and does to unborn children, so that you can change minds, change hearts, and save lives. If there is any children in the room or anyone who doesn't wish to watch this, we have instrumental music that has been played over the video, so if you avert your gaze, you won't even hear anything that you don't want to hear. So without any further ado, we're going to play the video. Sometimes words fail us. And sometimes images can speak where words can't. And I believe the importance of abortion imagery is that it proves two things. One, it proves the humanity of the unborn. You cannot look at that imagery and say, just a blob of tissue, just tissue potential to a fetus. So it proves the humanity of the unborn. But it also does one more thing that nothing else can do. Abortion imagery proves the inhumanity of abortion. And so as graphic as it is, and as offensive as it is, it continues to save lives, change minds, and change hearts. And when people see abortion imagery, most people leave behind their presuppositions that abortion is merely a subjective preference claim. So if we want to equip ourselves to engage, we have to clarify the nature of moral reasoning. Secondly, we have to clarify the one and only question that matters in the abortion debate today. This may come as a shocker to some of you, but the abortion issue is not complicated. The abortion issue is not complex. Now, don't get me wrong, there can be complicated and hard situations surrounding pregnancy, right? Surrounding what a woman is going through. Whether that's family or boyfriend pressuring her to abort, whether that's finances. Don't mistake me, there can be difficult and hard circumstances surrounding an abortion, surrounding a pregnancy, but that does not mean that the decision of whether to get an abortion or not, or the morality of the abortion issue is complicated. It's not. Greg Koukl, Christian apologist and author, uses the following story when he speaks about the abortion issue. He asks us to imagine that we are standing at our kitchen sink doing dishes. And as we're standing there doing dishes, our 3-year-old toddler comes up behind us. Now your back is turned, you don't see your toddler. And as you're standing there, your toddler says, "Mommy or Daddy, can I kill this?" Now what's going to be the first question out of your mouth in response to your toddler's question, "Can I kill this?" What is it? Exactly. What's he got? Is it a cockroach? Oh, sure, son. Here's a hammer. Don't show mom. Is it the neighbor kitty? Maybe not a good idea. And if he has his little brother by the throat, then you need counseling. The answer to the question, "What is it?" would trump all others at that point, wouldn't it? What's he got? Ronald Reagan, when he used to speak on the abortion issue, would often tell this story. He would say, imagine you're on a hunting trip, and you're walking down the road, and you have your rifle in your hand, and you hear the bushes rustling off to your left. Unaware of whether it's the deer you've been tracking or your hunting buddy, do you shoot into the bushes? No, because you don't know what's on the other side. You don't know what is it. Greg Koukl goes on to say, and Kathy Ireland said this very thing, if the unborn are not human, no justification for elective abortion is necessary. Have as many abortions as you want. If, however, the unborn are human, no justification for elective abortion is adequate. So, the whole question, the whole debate comes down to the question, what is the unborn? And it's the one question that is avoided like wildfire by pro-choice advocates, isn't it? Every argument is emotional manipulation and avoids the question of what is the unborn. But we can't answer the question, can we kill the unborn, until we first answer the question, what is the unborn? And the burden of proof is on those who are claiming that a woman should have a right to obtain an abortion through all 9 months of pregnancy for any reason or no reason at all. The burden of proof is not on you. The burden of proof is on those who are for abortion. They have to prove that the unborn are not human. And good news, science is on our side. Now, once you understand how the abortion issue is simple and how it all comes down to this one question, you can begin to navigate the abortion issue much more effectively and persuasively. I want to give you a brief example of how you can do this. Someone tells you, pro-lifer, how dare you tell a woman that she can't obtain an abortion when she doesn't have the financial capacity to raise that child? Here's how you'll show that really what's at root in that argument is the question, what is the unborn? Merely replace the subject of the unborn with a toddler and see if their argument holds up. You just respond, very well. Should we allow parents to kill their toddlers when they get expensive? Well, no, of course. Well, why not? Oh, because the toddler's a human. Ah. So the issue wasn't financial capacity, was it? The issue is what is the unborn? Because the humanity that that pro-choice advocate was granting the toddler in your counter-argument, he was denying to the unborn child in his argument for abortion. So the issue is, what is the unborn, not finances, huh? One more example. Pro-choicer tells you, pro-lifer, how dare you oppose abortion? Abortion is a privacy issue only left to a woman and her partner. Very well, you simply respond, should we allow parents to kill their toddlers as long as they do so in the privacy of their own homes? Oh, well, no, of course not. That's horrific. Why? Because the toddler's a human. Ah. So we're back to the same question again, aren't we? The issue was never finances, and the issue was never privacy. The issue is, what is the unborn? And the burden of proof is on them. So if we want to empower the next generation to abolish abortion, we have to engage. Surrender is not an option. And we have to equip ourselves to engage. And to equip ourselves to engage, we have to clarify the nature of moral reasoning, and we have to clarify the one and only question that matters. The third thing we have to do to equip ourselves to engage is we have to clarify the case for life. How do you make your case for life? When someone asks you, why are you pro-life? How do you respond? Pro-lifers make their case using science and philosophy. And our case is both scientifically and philosophically sound. And once you know this case, you can make it in 2 minutes or less. And I'm going to show you how you can do that tonight. So from science, the science of embryology teaches us that from the earliest stages of development, the unborn child is a distinct, living, and whole human being. The unborn is not just a mass of cells that's potential to a human being. It's not just tissue potential to a human being. It is already from the moment of conception a distinct, living, and whole human being. This is what the science of embryology teaches us. Every embryology textbook in the world is going to agree on this point. Now I'm scratching my arm here, and I'm scratching off somatic cells. And hundreds of them are hurling to this podium, and I have just committed mass homicide. Now, we recognize that's ridiculous because we recognize that somatic cells are part of wholes. They are part of the whole, of which is ourself, the parts that make up who we are. They are not ourselves, they are part of who we are. With the unborn child, they are not merely clumps of cells, they are already a distinct, living, and whole human being. I want to give you an example to help bring this point home. Imagine that you won a safari excursion in Africa, and you and all your friends go and you all have your cameras, and let's say one of you has one of those old Polaroid cameras, one of the cameras that spits out the photo right away. And so you're driving along in the safari vehicle and you're looking for animals and you want to get your cool shots and you're so excited. And as we're driving along, a black jaguar jumps out from the bushes to the left, leaps in front of the safari vehicle, and one of you guys in the front seat manages to get your camera up and take a picture, and you're so excited. Black jaguars are extremely rare, rarely photographed, and your photo shoots out, you're shaking, and remember how, and it's coming, and you're so excited. What if at that point, I reached out from the seat behind you, tore the photo from your hands, ripped it into pieces, and let it fall on the side of the road? Now, you would rightly be enraged. And what if I just responded, that wasn't a picture of a jaguar, that was just a